Hello everyone, I'm Jordana Van of Ravenlight Holistic Healing, and today I thought I would take just a minute to quickly answer one of your questions, which is, what does it mean when you dream about owl? Now, dreams are extremely personal, so there is a general meaning for the symbol, which I will talk with you about in a minute, but this interpretation may not resonate with you because you may have additional meanings attached to your specific experiences. So if you are part of a culture that already has a specific interpretation for owls, that would come into play. If you have past experiences with owls, that would come into play. So again, this is the general interpretation for owl dreams, but it may not be the one that applies to you, or it may not be the only one that applies to you. And if this is the case and you want to find out what your owl dream means, then please contact me for a dream interpretation, because I can usually figure these things out pretty quickly. So, owl represents truth and transparency and listening to your gut instead of logic. And so when owl shows up in your dreams, the first thing it is telling you to do is to look at the people around you and the situations around you and ask yourself whether or not the way they are representing themselves is actually what's going on. So, for example, if you're in a relationship and the person says, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and yet all of their actions seem to address otherwise. Or if they say, I love you, but gosh, you really need to change this, or they're always picking on you, then actually it doesn't sound like they love you very much. And you probably know that because your gut doesn't feel very good, or you feel very angry speaking with them. Or people who continue to promise that they're going to do something and then they just don't follow through. Or even just the representation of the personality itself. I remember being extremely unhappy when I found out that Lance Armstrong was not Superman and was in fact taking performance-enhancing drugs. And Bill Cosby recently with all of his issues. Those are the types of things that owl reveals. That the person that someone is pretending to be isn't actually them, or is not representative of the whole truth. And so owl would be saying, if there are any people in your life that you feel like maybe they're not really telling you everything, then yeah, you're probably right. And you need to ask the hard questions at this point. Same thing with establishments. If you're part of a group that purports to support one agenda, and then you get in there and you're going, wow, this doesn't seem to be what they support at all, then it may be time to leave. Owl would be saying that this contrast between what you thought you wanted and what you're getting is not good for you. Business deals. You have owl showing up in a dream and you're about to make a business deal that you're not feeling 100% positive about. Back away. Owl will be saying that this deal is not good for you. You probably already know this because certain details aren't lining up and it maybe feels rushed and you don't feel very good about it, but you're going to do it anyway because, man, oh man, this deal may never come again. Owl is telling you that the consequences of taking that deal would be far worse than if you just got out now. You will find another deal. If it is meant to be, another one will come for you. The universe is really great about that. This could just be a learning experience to teach you to listen to your gut. So, another place in which owl speaks to us when we are dreaming is in those times when we are deceiving ourselves. So, it isn't that someone else is attempting us to get to see something that isn't true. It's that we're doing it to us. And this is the case when we are repressing feelings about something. So, for example, maybe you're in a job that you absolutely hate, but you won't let yourself feel those feelings because maybe you think, well, you know, in this economy, I should be grateful to have the job I have. Or my family would be disappointed if I left. Or, you know, this was the thing I spent, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars receiving an education for. I mean, how can I back out now? Or the thing I really want to do, nobody's ever going to pay me to do that. On and on and on. Owl is basically telling you that all those excuses are BS, they don't matter. And the fact that you are unhappy here is saying that you are not where the universe wants you to be. And so you're being given this symbol to tell you to look at the truth of your situation. We're given this stuff for a reason, guys. The universe doesn't just go, oh, here's this symbol that tells you to get the heck out and, oh, you're going to be miserable. That isn't the point. The point is for you to learn to be courageous and trust your gut and trust that the universe is going to look after you. So it shows you, owl, to say, look at the truth of your situation here. This is good for you. We want you to move on. This job you had before was great for you at the time. Now it isn't anymore. It's time to leave. Same thing with relationships, and this is actually the one where I see owls show up most frequently, when you are deceiving yourself about a relationship. So maybe for all intents and purposes the relationship is fine, but you don't love the person anymore. Or maybe you guys are just so incompatible. Maybe you're fighting all the time. But you're trying to tell yourself you have to stay in the relationship because how would it look if you split up? Or what about the kids? Or, you know, a billion other reasons why we stay in relationships. Oh my God, you know, I'll be alone if I get out of this. And what Owl is trying to tell you is that the fact that you're deceiving yourself, all you're doing is keeping yourself stuck in an unhappy place. We're supposed to be happy. So you are supposed to have a happy relationship. Being in this one and telling yourself you must be stuck in this one for whatever reason is just keeping you stuck and keeping you from finding the way that you really would be fulfilled and you'd really be happy. So Owl is saying, look, okay, yes, we know this is uncomfortable, but you're staying in this relationship when you're unhappy about it is not good for you. In fact, it's probably starting to make you miserable. Maybe you're even starting to manifest the physical symptoms of emotional repression where your chest hurts or your shoulders feel tense or your neck, or you panic a whole lot, or you're getting tons of colds and flu, things like that, sore throats. A lot of those are symptoms of emotional repression having to do with being in a relationship in which we don't feel heard, or we just feel like we're constantly carrying the other person's burdens. If you've got those and Owl's showing up, Owl's saying, get out, you'll be a lot healthier. Now, I understand that this is difficult. Owl is not an easy messenger. In fact, when Owl shows up, a lot of things have to fall apart. But this is a good thing because we can't keep dragging all this junk around with us and expect to create something wonderful. Sometimes the old situation has to be resolved before the new one can be created. I've lived this so many times in my life, I can't even begin to tell you guys. Every time I thought the world was over, oh my gosh, my life is over, it's going to be awful, things would begin to change if I let them go in a way that led to greater and greater happiness and success and fulfillment, even in my relationships. So I promise you this works, but you have to be brave. Owl does speak of bravery. You've got to be willing to look, you've got to be willing to make the hard choices and have the hard conversations. But you'll be okay. So hopefully this has answered your questions about Owl. If you still have questions about Owl as a dream symbol, I will answer them with you in a session. But anybody just sending random inquiries, I love you guys, but I don't have time to get to them all. So paid session only. You are also welcome to schedule any other work with me that you please, whether it's healing work or life path guidance or just basic readings, whatever. I would advise you to check out my webpage before emailing me because everything you need to know, including the information I will need from you, is on my webpage. And the webpage is www.ravenlightholistichealing.com. Cheers, my darlings. Have a wonderful day.